So tonight, I ordered a forge dump valve for my car so I can hold my boost better. So we're gonna try to install it tonight. It seems pretty simple. There's a few splicing things we have to do, but Trey Man knows how to do this. So we're gonna give you a clip of what it sounds like now. And basically why I did get this though is to eliminate my turbo flutter because it's not good. So I'll give you a sound clip right now. So first step to gain access is to take off this intake because we're actually taking it off down here. So taking off the intake, we can actually reach it. And then I don't know if we actually are going to take this off. We watched a video and he took it off, so we might too.
And that is
the
PCV
thing. Alright, so we're just taking off the PCV to make life easier on us. First screw in the back, and then 2 in the front. This is number 10. Pretty simple to pop off. Oh. So we're pretty much prepped and ready to go ahead and just start installing this dump valve. First, we're gonna take off this little connector. I don't know 100% what it's going actually to. If you do, Trey.
That is the connector. It's a vacuum line for the actual brake booster off of the brake boost pump here. And pretty much what we're going to be using this for is a vacuum source for the actual blow-off valve itself. Pretty much for this. All right. For this step here, the first step of the installation, it's gonna require these 2 pieces and this 6mm vacuum hose and then some zip ties here that were supplied. And pretty much what this is gonna do, I'll just go to the car, show you. You're gonna take this piece right here that's supplied, you're gonna install it into this vacuum line to the brake booster itself that goes down to the brake booster. And we're not gonna put it on yet, but I'm just showing you guys that this is where that's gonna go. When you push it, it's gonna click. So after you put the hose on this guy, you're gonna use this T here. And here, let me just get the hose. All right, so this is what we made here. So this is gonna be that T that we showed earlier.
The 6mm.
And the 6mm. This is going to be 6mm hose, and this is what you're going to use. This is pretty much the only part of the installation where you're going to be using 6mm. We were not really supplied that much, so we're kind of working with what we have. But this end right here is the one that's going to go into the brake booster vacuum line here. This is the lead to the actual solenoid. We'll get to that later. This is going to be the lead to the actual blow-off valve assembly itself. But this is pretty much, we're just doing this so we can tap into the vacuum system, so we can have some sort of vacuum from the brake booster here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this in. There it goes. And then we decided that we're going to route it like this. And then you're going to plug the this end right here, not the T portion that's gonna go that way. You can pretty much do this however you want, but this is how we're gonna do it. You're gonna bring this end around to where this factory fitting fit onto this actual the fitting for the brake booster pump here. So you're gonna take the hose and just fasten it on here. It's really snug, it's not gonna come off, and then we'll put a zip tie that was supplied with the kit too. So yeah, this is going to be, for now, we're gonna clean it up later, but this is pretty much a mock-up of what we're gonna have so far. And I'm just gonna put a zip tie on that. All right, so this piece right here is supplied with the kit as well. It's just a reducer to the 4mm hose, which is going to go to the actual blow-off assembly itself. And that is just gonna go from your lead here. You're just gonna slide it in and then put a zip tie on it right here. And then you'll put the 4mm hose here, and we'll get to that after I finish all of that. So this right here is the solenoid, the new boost solenoid that came with the kit itself. This is the bracket that's supplied as well, and this just goes on to this bracket here, and we'll show you how it mounts into the engine bay later. But you just screw in these little Allen head screws here, and then it'll secure it to the actual bracket itself. But these nipples here and then right here will show you right now how all of that's going to be plumbed.
So now we're going to take off this stock bypass valve. You just need a number 5 Allen on a ratchet.
Alright, so this right here is the factory bypass valve, and as you can see, there is a plug-in for it, and the solenoid is actually built into this bypass valve. So what we're doing is we're completely eliminating the fact that this is going to be one component, and there's going to be the solenoid and then the independent blow-off valve itself. So this wire comes with the kit, and it's basically going to replace this whole system itself, and pretty much this solenoid is going to be plugged into by this wire, and then the wire that goes into this from factory, which is, where is it? It's right here. This wire right here, you're going to plug up to this guy, and then that is going to in the end plug into the solenoid, and then control the opening and closing of the actual valve itself through the vacuum system. So yeah, we'll just keep getting into it. There's a couple more vacuum lines that we're gonna get into that you're gonna need to use the 4mm hose, which is right here. We actually reduced it right here from the 6 using the reducer to the 4 and kind of routed it around here. We're gonna clean it up when we're finished. Hold on! Wow! Somebody dropped the mop. Blow up. Okay. All right. So we took some time to kind of get the whole vacuum lines figured out, and we found a mounting point for the solenoid right here. There was another point down here that they were. I don't know if you can see it. My finger is on it right now.
I mean, you can kind of.
It's in a really awkward spot, and you weren't gonna be able to get any vacuum lines hooked up to the actual solenoid. So we decided to, you know, kind of improvise, and we found a spot where the plug can actually still connect to the solenoid here. So we still have, and there's still slack in it too, so we're good there. So I'm gonna explain where all of the vacuum lines lead to on the actual solenoid right now. So this one that is just loose right now, it is the top one on the solenoid right here. And this hose itself is gonna go to the new blow-off valve right here. Bloop, right on the top, right there. So we haven't gotten that in yet, so we're just gonna leave it loose. Now I don't know if you saw it earlier, but there's another connection right under the plug-in right here. It's a metal one. It's a metal nipple, and that one comes all the way down. If you follow it, that is where you use the T for the that comes with the kit. And there's a hose that comes from the this is the turbo right here. This is the inlet for the turbo. There's a hose that comes off of the intake housing of the turbo, and you can feel that if you feel the bottom of the turbo where the hose goes, you can actually feel where the hose comes from. And what we did is we just disconnected the hose, the factory hose right here. We just took this clamp off, and then here, let me get some light.
Oh no, you can see it.
You can see it?
Oh yeah.
All right, okay. So the factory hose right here connected to this point, and it turns into a hard pipe, and there's a nipple that comes off, and that's what seals these two together. So what we did is we took some 4mm hose and just zip tied it to this fitting, and then connected it to the T, and then put the T in the factory hose here, and then ran that line from the T to this fitting on the solenoid. So that is where this hose goes, and then this hose on the far side, the front side of the back side, it's a plastic nipple. These two are plastic nipples. They're gray, and this one is the hose from the brake booster that reduces to a 4mm. It goes from 6 and reduces to 4, and that is where that one goes. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. It's a little bit confusing until like you kind of get your hands on it and you can see where everything is. But another point that I want to make is the O-ring. For some reason, usually when you get a blow-off valve, they come with a supplied O-ring that you put in, or it's already in. This one didn't have one, so we took the O-ring out of the factory bypass valve, and it just goes around this groove right here, and we fit it into here. It's a little low, which is kind of scary, but we'll see if it leaks or not, and if it leaks, then we'll probably have to contact Forge, but hopefully it doesn't, so we don't have to do that. So yeah, let's throw her in, bro.
It's like a heat shield holder kind of thing. It's a heat shield.
Well, yeah, we
painted it.
Yeah, we painted it
red. I'm gonna throw a little scorpion sticker on it. Freaking make it all back. All right, so we're all buttoned up here. Got everything put back together. PCV intake, everything's back on. Hopefully it works. I'm gonna start it up and we'll find out.
One more time. One more time.
Dude, I kind of like that sound. It's like, hey. It does hold boost way better. So we put it on, car gained like 800 horse. So we put it on, car runs perfectly fine. The sound's pretty different. I think you got it on the clip. Yeah. You can actually tell. We'll probably do more clips in the future, but it's just we're at Ben's house and we don't want to rake up the neighborhood. Everything's good. We're probably going to change the O-ring out after just for like better feeling for us. And then we do have a front mount intercooler coming, so you'll see a video for that. But yeah, so thanks for watching and make sure you stay tuned for the intercooler.